What's up, Meliora Coaching? Today I'm going to walk you guys through how to create a recipe inside of the First format. Because when it comes to tracking certain meals, you're not always going to be in a situation where you're going to be able to cook and then plate and then be able to log individual meals. Because there's going to be times in which you're making casseroles for your family, you're making very large amounts of things that come into single serving sizes. And so being able to still be accurate when it comes to tracking those certain foods is going to be something that you definitely want to make sure you are staying really on top of, okay? So what I'm gonna be tracking for you guys today and building out a recipe for is gonna be pancake bites, okay? For this recipe, I use a protein powder, Fairlife milk, pancake powder of your choice, and then as well as some chocolate chips, because you always know that you gotta have chocolate chips in your little pancake bites, okay? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull up the First format. I'm gonna go to the menu, and then I'm gonna scroll down and I'm gonna click on My Foods, okay? When I click on My Foods, you'll see a lot of different things there of custom foods that you've already put into your app, but what you'll wanna pay attention to is in the top right-hand corner, you'll see a plus sign. I'll click on that plus, I'll go down to New Recipe. This is gonna pull up a screen you've probably never seen before, don't fret. Everything's gonna be exactly the same. What I'm gonna start to do now is that I'm gonna start to track everything that's gonna go into this actual recipe. So for the ingredients, I'm gonna click on the plus sign first. The first thing I'm gonna track is the Fairlife milk. So I'm just gonna type in Fairlife in the search bar. I'm gonna scroll down and I see there's the fat-free option, which is the one that I have here. I'm gonna click on fat-free, and I'm actually gonna use 3/4 of a cup for this recipe. So I'll type in 3/4 of a cup, I'll hit done, hit save. So now Fairlife milk is already inside of the recipe builder. The next thing I'm gonna track is the Birch Benders pancake mix. This one I've already input as a custom food, so I'm just going to search Birch Benders. You'll see it pop up at the top since it is a custom entry already. I'm gonna click on it, and this is actually going to take another 3/4 of a cup. So I'm gonna track 3/4 of a cup, so now this is already tracked as well. The next one is gonna be our protein. For the protein, I'm actually gonna scan this protein powder. I'm gonna pull up the scanning option. I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna scan the barcode. And I'm gonna use 1 scoop of protein for this recipe, so it's already inputted there. I'll hit save. Then the next thing is gonna be the chocolate chips. I'm also gonna scan these as well. We'll pull up the scan again. Scan these. 60 chips, if I look on the back of the nutrition label, 60 chips is 1 serving, which is 14 grams, and that's the amount that I'm gonna be using for the recipe. So I'll hit save. And when I go back and I hit X at the top right, this brings me back to the original screen that we looked at once we started tracking the recipe. So what I'm gonna do now, this amount of ingredients, whenever I put it into a muffin tin, it actually makes about 6 pancake bites. So where it says servings, I'm going to go up and I'm going to increase the amount of servings to 6. And then now I'm gonna give it a name. I'm gonna call it pancake bites. And now I'm just gonna hit save. And so now that has saved as a recipe. So when I go back to my nutrition tab, I'm gonna click on the blue button, I'm gonna hit add food, and now I can actually search for this item. So I'm gonna type in pancake bites. You'll actually see it. It looks a little bit different as far as the picture that's next to it. I'm gonna click on that. I'm gonna eat 2 of these pancake bites. I'm gonna save, and when I go back to the original screen, it has 2 pancake bites already logged for me. So again, this is something you can use if you're making a family style dish for the entire family. You're making a casserole, a crock pot dish, really anything like that, making sure that you can split it up by serving so you don't necessarily have to weigh out after you've already cooked everything, so that you know exactly what goes into the actual dish. You've logged everything before you actually cook it. You split it up by serving size. You log how much you actually take from the actual meal itself. That way you can make sure that you're still staying on track.